I do want to ask you, here we are in the midst of the midterms. You're someone who's been quite outspoken. You have made several appearances on a show hosted by socialist commentator Hasan Piker. Some of your fellow Democrats, though, have raised alarms about his views. Here are two members of a left-leaning think tank. This is how they put it. They wrote, quote, "No left-wing agitator is more influential and extreme than Twitch streamer Hasan Piker. He's referred to ultra-Orthodox Jews as inbred, employed anti-Semitic dog whistles, bloodthirsty, violent pig dog against an anti-Hamas viewer of his stream, compared liberal Zionists to liberal Nazis, and said Hamas is 1,000 times better than the Israeli state." Now, Hasan Piker says some of his comments have been taken out of context, but he largely stands by them. Do you have any regrets about appearing on his show?
None, and I would go again. But I, of course, condemn those comments. I mean, I've described Hamas as a terrorist state, and we need to unequivocally condemn anti-Semitism. But Hasan Piker was at the DNC in 2024, covering Vice President Harris. What should the standard of the Democrats be? Should we not go on Theo Vaughn? Should we not go on Sean Ryan? Should we not go on Joe Rogan? Should we just have these purity tests of canceling folks? The lesson of the last election is we've got to be out there. We've got to engage. It's a complex, messy, multiracial democracy. I will defend my views, but the people who are saying don't engage will cost us future elections.
Do you run the risk of legitimizing some of those views by appearing on his show? How do you answer that?
He's got millions of followers. He'll have millions of followers whether Khanna goes on his show or not. The point is that we should go on and have tough conversations. You know, actually, I respect Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel says he'll go on, and if he makes a comment that I disagree with, then I will push back right there. So I think the test should be what you say. If someone is going on these programs and not pushing back against anti-Semitism, fine. But, you know, I haven't done the background check on you, Chris, and I'm sure there are no crazy comments.
I have not said anything like that. I can assure you that. Where do you draw the line, Congressman? Would you appear on, for example, a right-leaning show? Alex Jones, for example, who has made controversial comments that have enraged people, hurt people deeply in some instances.
Look, there is obviously a line, and I probably wouldn't appear on Alex Jones. But the point is, I don't think that that line should be with Hasan Piker, who has millions of followers, and largely what his view has been critical of the blank check that we gave Netanyahu in the war in Gaza. Now, I don't agree with every one of his statements, and it's a judgment call. But here's what I will say, Kristen. The Democratic Party has been too reluctant to get out there, to mix it up, to engage, and we should be on doing more of these things. We should have done more interviews during 2024. You know, Vice President Vance was on like 3 Sunday shows in a row. I was like, where are our folks? We've got to be out engaging in the media, out engaging in podcasts, out engaging in communities, and offering our vision going forward.
Okay.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.